Glentoran Niner says Jason Verrett might be a dark horse cornerback. Sherman and Ward said he looked fit. Yeah. In the past, I would always kind of tune out when players would talk about their teammates being the best shapes of their lives, because you're supposed to say that. You never hear a player be like, hey man, this guy's fat. He wasn't working out this offseason. I don't know what he's doing, but we need him and he's not. You never hear that. But this 49ers team sort of has taken Kyle Shanahan's personality, and they all take pride in saying smart things that they believe are true. They don't like to lie. And if Jason Verrett was looking like last year, I'm sure they would all say, we're pulling for him, and say a lot of vague nothings. But we heard from Jimmy Ward that he looks healthy. He looks anxious to prove himself. And Jimmy Ward was saying, it's interesting because we came out in the draft in the same year. Verrett was drafted ahead of Ward. Verrett went to a Pro Bowl, and Ward hasn't. Verrett is more accomplished than Ward. And from Ward's mind, I think he's thinking I actually look up to this guy. This guy is a big deal who established himself before I did. And the fact that my career worked out and his didn't, more has to do with injuries, which is ironic because Ward's had so many. So look, if Verrett is what Ward says he is, that's an interesting thing for the 49ers, because when healthy, he's better than Emmanuel Mosley. When healthy, he's better than Ahkello Witherspoon. No question about it. He was never healthy last year. And what happened in training camp, there was a day where they had some, not live tackling, but pretty close to it. And I think he was just a little over anxious to prove himself. And he went in for a tackle and injured his ankle and missed the rest of training camp, which set him back. A guy like him who's missed the last 4 years needs to slowly ramp up his training without setbacks, or else he's probably going to pull something, tear something, not play well. That's been his history. So he missed most of training camp. They threw him in against the Steelers, and he got burned right away, and that was the last time we ever saw him. But he never really had the full training camp. This year, no preseason, only 2 weeks of training camp. As long as the Niners can keep him fresh and prevent him from being over anxious on the field, take your time. You don't have to prove yourself in August. They might have something from him. He was a really good player just a few years ago. And last year, I think his season was kind of over before it started. The Niners, if they could just be a little more careful and cautious with him, he might be one of their more intriguing additions of the year, even though he's not an addition.